howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again, and welcome to The Roads with Belle. Today is August 7th, and today we're going down the roads to explaining Trump's economy in non-economic speak, as much as possible anyway. As much as I hate to admit it, sometimes providing economic data isn't the best way to get the point across. And getting to that point, here's a message from one of the metal shop guys. If you haven't seen any, there's been a series of videos addressing questions from a group of guys who work in a metal shop, and they're of various political persuasions. Okay, here's the message. One of the Republican guys has seen the light, at least on the economic issues. Now he's running into problems talking to other Republicans who realize the economy is going bad, but don't know why. And even though I find it funny that he's now trying to talk to the brick wall he used to be, he brought up a good point and said the numbers don't help. He says the cause and effect and personal connection is all that helps. Just thought you might be able to do something with that, because he wants help talking to them. Okay, so what we're going to do is go step by step explaining cause and effect and trying to make it relatable. This might help in conversations you'll have soon. So, if you're thinking of buying something, do you want to know the price before you buy it? You wouldn't just fill up a cart at the store without knowing the price. Companies are the same way, and the constant changes in tariffs is changing the price. They put an item in the cart at one price, but by the time they get to the register, it's different. That level of uncertainty means they can't plan, so they can't invest. That, over time, slows down growth. Markets hate uncertainty. When markets are uncertain, companies can't plan, which means they don't know how many employees they'll need. They may not start laying people off right away, but they may not replace those who leave. That gives you job numbers like those that just came out. Now, those people without jobs, they don't have paychecks, which means less money is being pumped into the local economy, which means local businesses struggle. Since we're talking about money being yanked out of the economy, all of those sudden cuts from DOGE, they took money out of local economies across the country. When they cut USAID funding, it hurt a peanut butter plant in Georgia. Those federal workers who lost their jobs, they aren't putting money into the local economy either. Not just do constantly changing tariffs create uncertainty, they raise costs. That's a tariff's whole job. There's an explainer video from Impartial Points down below. Your kid is selling candy bars to raise money for school. The school buys them for 50 cents. They've always charged $1 per bar. But if the cost of the candy bars go up to 75 cents, they have to charge more, right? That's what tariffs do. Then we have the decline in tourism. That one seems simple to understand. Do you want to visit a place that threatened to take over your country? Do you visit places you don't feel welcome? Neither does anybody else. What about the GDP? It went back up. You and your wife both stop on the way home from work to pick up some things you need. You both buy a giant package of toilet paper. Now, you don't have to buy one for a while. GDP numbers subtract the trade deficit. When companies imported a bunch of stuff to get ahead of Trump's tariffs, that helps send the first quarter GDP negative. When they didn't need to import as much in the second quarter, it made the GDP look stronger than it is. The U.S. didn't have to buy toilet paper for a while, so its grocery bill was less. Underlying data shows the weakness in the GDP. All of these negatives are going to be increased if Trump actually ignores all of the negative numbers coming out. That rhetoric tells investors he isn't going to change course. so they hold back on investing. Let's say you work at a restaurant, and you can see with your own eyes that you're getting less and less customers, but the boss is ignoring it. Do you feel comfortable about how long the restaurant will stay in business? I can hear you saying, "Okay, Belle, but if all of that is true, why is the stock market doing so well?" Is it though? Trump supporters keep saying the market hit a record high. Pull up a chart showing the Dow and click the longest time frames you can get it to cover. 10 years, 20 years, so on. Try to figure out the last president who didn't see an all-time high. That's not a good measure of whether or not the stock market is doing well. As of Wednesday morning, when I pulled these numbers together, the Dow has gained 0.20% since Trump took office. If you had $100,000 in the Dow on Inauguration Day, based on that percentage, you would have made a whopping $200 total since January 21st. $200 is not a good return on a $100,000 investment over more than 6 months. Why? You didn't even cover inflation. You lost money. That's not a booming stock market. The stock market doesn't always reflect the real economy. Here's a little factoid from a recent survey that might help you see the real economy better. 53% of Americans say the cost of groceries is a major source of stress for them. 14% of U.S. adults have used buy now, pay later services to buy groceries. Those are probably not figures that would exist in a booming economy. So, there you go. A little more information, a little more context, and having the right information will make all the difference. Y'all have a good day.